Welcome to the Live Fully show. This is episode 12, I believe. Yeah,
Sounds about right.
12-ish. Yeah.
We'll go 12-ish.
All right. I'm Victor Chung.
I'm Alexander Karp.
We're here to not blow your mind, because last time you made fun of me for saying that. So we're here to inform and entertain you. I'm Victor Chung, and hopefully it helps some people.
Alexander Karp. We have to start from a place that is our own passion, our experience. The Live Fully podcast.
All right. So
Weekend. How was your weekend?
weekend, a good weekend. I shouldn't say that too. Like it's a great weekend because Lisa wasn't there for half of it. Really, huh?
Lisa, your wife.
Yes. Actually, so yeah, it was good. We Enzo and I had a father-son day on Sunday. So
Yep.
I spent some time with him, just him, and we went to. I wanted to go kart racing, but just around the corner here.
Yeah, go-kart racing.
Yeah. We've been talking
The
about it for.
adult, very fast, very fun
Yeah.
go-kart racing.
Yeah.
Like a 55-mile-an-hour go-karts that are.
Mhm.
It's the time doing those go-kart racing finally let me understand how like Formula One drivers are actually the most fit athletes on this planet. Like
Yeah.
you would think like driving a car, like you don't need to be anything, but like
stressful.
oh my god,
Yeah.
for like a minute and a half race, like 15 laps, you're going around, maybe it's like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and like get out and just like drenched in sweat and all your muscles are like tight. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I could go do a workout? Like how can be driving something be so much?
Yeah.
But like going around the turns, G-forces, you don't realize how much stress that puts in your body. That it's impressive for
And it's also we're not doing it right, too. I'm sure.
yeah.
Like I'm super tense the whole time. It's like I probably should just relax a little
I think
bit.
that's like I think that's what it is. It's just like it's like fighter
Yeah.
pilots and like car
Maybe we should have
racers
that be a
have like
challenge one day.
amazing.
We'll go all race cars.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Alex is super competitive. You gotta watch out for that.
Super good.
So there was a guy on the track that was definitely like a race car driver or whatever, and he's just doing this to pass the time. This guy was flying and there were like kids and things that were, on the track too, and like he was like it just looked like night and day difference, and he's like sliding, drifting through turns and stuff. I'm like, oh,
Still being fast for the drift.
yeah,
That's
yeah. He did all kinds. Like you could just tell he was
Yeah.
on another level.
Huh.
So
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah, so it was. So we actually didn't go kart racing. The wait was like an hour and a half or something. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. So we went laser tag instead, and we hopped into this big birthday group of like 30 kids and their dads, and it was first time Enzo's ever done laser tag. So he's 7 and the vest barely fit him, so he's the size of a 5-year-old. But he held his own. He was actually, going around and he was having a good time. And it was a long session. They had an extended session for this birthday party. So we were in there. By the end, I was like full on drenched and gassed out. And Enzo was drenched too. And I really wanted us to win and whoop this other team. So,
Did you make any little kids cry?
no, I did not make any kids
Good.
cry.
Kind of shocked you had to pause for so long.
Yeah, you
I was like, did I?
Nope, not this weekend. Did not make any little kids cry this weekend. I'm good. All right.
No,
Good.
I was thinking, I was trying to think about what the other dads were doing. And I just remember like all the dads were all gung ho at first. We were like, yeah, we got in there. And then like halfway through, every other dad was just done. They're just done. I remember seeing one dad, his hands were just up. He's like, fine, shoot me. And all these little kids like, the whole time. So,
What is that from like the birthday cake sugar rush? You get like some cake in you, you like go out in the laser tag, and all of a sudden it's just like
I don't know. Like, I was actually impressed that I was able to like hang in the whole time, just full on, constantly running around. So I mean, I definitely took, kratom in the morning right before I went out there, and so I had my usual. I think I did. Actually, I went white this time, white Borneo instead of sunrise, which I normally would do. So I went just like full energy instead. Let's
Get
really
the
kick
blood
it.
flow,
Mhm.
energy going.
And I was I was crushing it out there. I was whooping these little 7-year-olds. So.
Does that make you feel good?
Felt good. Oh no, you know what though? I didn't get first place though. I got like 3rd place.
The secret to winning is picking inadequate components.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, just, pick your battles.
No, I still didn't win, man. I still didn't win. I got 3rd place. There's this one kid that was just whooping everybody.
The second trick to winning is just lying about it.
Yeah, just lie. Yeah. No, it was lots of fun. So, and then after that, we went to a birthday party. So it was pretty. What about you guys? I'll tell you more about the birthday party. Actually, it's a good segue into something I like for us. I'd like to get your perspective on. So before we jump into that, I'd like to hear about what you guys did over the weekend.
Yeah. So weekend was a lot of fun. So it's weekend was kind of rainy to start out with, which is unusual in San Diego. But happy that on Sunday it was no rain, nice and clear, but kind of cool, crisp out. So it's and the main reason is because there's this great mountain bike and bike store in San Diego called Black Mountain Cycle, and twice a year they have what they call their demo days actually on Black Mountain, which is kind of like a nice nature preserve, pretty much in the middle of San Diego almost. And it's got a lot of great hiking trails, and more importantly, it is open to mountain biking. And so during these demo days, they bring out a couple big manufacturers. They bring out like Specialized, Pivot Cycles, Shimano comes out with some of their latest stuff, and so does Santa Cruz. So kind of some like big name, hardcore mountain biking companies come out. And the cool thing is that they just have all these bikes lined up. You give them an ID and a credit card to kind of hold in case you run off with the bike. But they let you take out any bike that they bring out on the trail for a couple hours, several hours. And so it's really go have awesome. Fun. And I mean, if anyone's gone out to purchase a mountain bike, which, you go to a store and it's like,
in the parking
lot.
Go
ahead, go ride the mountain bike. But, stay in the parking lot. Don't get it dirty. Don't go on trail. So it's like, well, how do I test this bike and actually get a feel for it? So it's very hard to do that without going to, say, an actual like ski resort during the summer and finding a mountain rental shop. And then you're paying a lot of money to rent, and then it's generally not the bikes that are always available to purchase. And so this is actually one of the few times it's a great opportunity to go test ride a bunch of different bikes. And you start to actually get a feel for this suspension system and this geometry, because there's all these like minor tweaks that, online you're looking at all these little tiny like numbers and specifications, and I have no idea what that means until you get out and you're like, oh, that's
actually feels different. It makes a difference.
It's like, I just feel more comfortable on this bike for some reason. I don't know quite why, but so I kind of start to understand that side. And so and this time how
many bikes did you try?
I did 3 different bikes.
Okay.
So, and
it goes all day, right? The whole day?
Yes, yeah. It goes majority of the day. And I did jump on a couple cheater bikes. So these are electric mountain bikes.
What?
And they are cool. Phenomenal. Like so amazing. So it's like a full suspension mountain bike with a good 150 millimeters of travel. So like 6 inches of travel front and back. And then they have a nice hub motor down in the crankset. And so basically it's kind of like you pedal like normal, and it just gives a little bit of power assist. And it is crazy. Just like, stuff I'm normally kind of like pedaling up and like slowly creeping up a hill. You just like get a little boost and just like fly up as fast as like almost coming down. Yeah. So it's.
Would you ever buy a bike? Like the cheater bike?
That's a bad name for this.
It's like, it
should be the preferred bike.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of one of those things where people who have been in mountain biking for a while, e-bikes have not been around.
Right.
And so it's kind of like that. You have to work really hard just to like go a few miles in mountain biking. And so that's why it's kind of definitely a different consumer. Where if you're a mountain biker, well, just go out and go mountain bike and get a mountain bike.
Right.
And then so e-bikes are kind of on the side a little bit. People don't want to get into them because then it is. It kind of spoils me as far as going on there. Everything seems easy, going super far. But then it's like
you have a sense of accomplishment when you do it.
Yeah,
I like it. False sense or not, I'm down with it.
Yes. So
I just got up on this mountain. What?
Yeah, for me, I won't buy one yet, and I probably won't ride them very often. But the cool part is, if I go out with somebody, at least it's an option for someone to come out biking with me without having to be a very in shape avid mountain biker, which is the cool part because I don't know, this is several years ago. Went up to Canada and rented some mountain bikes, and one of my brothers came along with me, but like he had to stop after a pretty short distance, and just kind of unfortunate where it's like, okay, how do you find people to go out with? So that's the cool part, is that it at least allows more people to bike together at different kind of ability levels. Yeah. And then plus as I get older and less athletic, at some point that'll happen. It's nice having, there'll be an option for me to kind of continue to be able to do some of these things I love doing.
Yeah.
Hope your brother doesn't watch this at all. You just shamed him.
Well, no, it's just he doesn't practice mountain biking all the time. So
yeah.
It's okay.
I have multiple brothers. One is not like this, the other is. I'll let you guys guess which is which.
No, they both don't mountain bikes.
Yeah. That's what that was his like a bait to try to get me to go with him this weekend. It's like, they have e-bikes.
Yeah.
And then for a second I'm like,
they're free. They're so much fun, dude.
I know. I would have. Yeah, but
I know.
once I put Enzo in my backpack, let's do this thing. So, do they have one of those tandem versions that are mountain bikes?
I don't think so.
I don't think a tandem mountain bike sounds that safe.
That would be interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I see people struggling on tandem bikes enough, just like
on
going on the sidewalk trying to get started. Yeah, let alone.
Yeah, that's just a bad idea.
Oh man.
That was good, man. That was good. That was a day worth spent.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm definitely glad I have my purple spongy seat cushion right now. Is my butt is quite sore from mountain biking.
This morning, that's what he goes. First thing I see him in the morning, he goes, "Vic, man, my butt is sore." Like you gotta follow that up. You gotta follow that up with something there. Mountain biking, got it.
I had a great weekend, so much fun, and my butt's sore.
I'm like,
what?
Interesting.
All right.
Moving on.
That's where the show is going.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and kratom. So
yeah,
you actually did a blend this morning, right?
Yeah. So I kind of suspect with yellow kratom is that it gives more of like a much larger antidepressant feel. And so I tried some yellow kratom, which is green and red vein, most likely or traditionally, that has been fermented. So they add water to it, kind of put it in a pile and let it ferment and kind of break down for at least a few days. And the thought is that it creates a change in the alkaloids. And so I would say that the pain relief was not as substantial. So I did have to kind of supplement that with some of our green Malay side. But yeah, I felt just a level of happiness and kind of, just much less depressed. Like kind of like, it was pretty interesting.
A mood booster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like very much a mood boost for sure.
So this is part of our continual testing. So it's not just lab testing, but also personal testing as well too. Yeah. So you get something like this where like, wow, I feel a little bit better. So now let's go and examine it from a lab perspective and see if there's at least anything measurable on the alkaloid side, and so we'll find out and see if there's any difference.
Yep.
So good to know. So I'll try it. Why not? So
I think it's definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge for us, I know, to find the alkaloids, just because it's the alkaloids that are responsible for the mood lift are generally in much, much lower concentrations. So trying to find them in, say, quantified way is going to be very difficult. But it's going to be a lot of personal testing and a lot of lab testing to try and correlate to it. Yeah.
So if you guys want to know, for any of those kratom users out there, support the show, support continual research that you guys know we do by going to ethalivefully.com and purchasing kratom there and other botanicals.
Yep.
Yeah. So testing ain't cheap. So we need help. How about you, Kyndra?
Went to a different kind of birthday party this weekend.
Ah, okay.
We actually we celebrated
along the lines of waking up in the morning painful or
Definitely
hungover?
opposite.
Okay.
We had a little birthday party for my dog this weekend, thanks
Oh,
to my 6-year-old.
okay, this is totally different. All right,
Birthday party for the dog.
Okay, dog party.
So our dog is
You
turning
do this.
2 on March 27th, and Jaden will be on a cruise at that time with her mom.
Oh.
And so she was sad that she wouldn't be home for Opie's birthday, so she asked if we could celebrate his birthday now. Yes, I know. The life of a 6-year-old.
Is this
Tough life. It's a very tough life.
is this the first time you've done a pet birthday?
Yes, and we didn't do like a full birthday party by all means, but he got a new toy in the morning,
Okay.
and we went to Lazy Dog. I don't know if you ever heard of Lazy Dog restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
so you
it.
can bring your
Brewery,
pets there.
pub, and
Mhm.
And
stuff.
so we brought him, for dinner, even though he didn't
Nice.
get anything to eat there. He just got to come and got some treats. And then we got him, there's this ice cream called Frosty Paws. You
Okay.
can buy it at any grocery store. It's like a little ice cream cup for dogs.
Yeah, I know
And
you're talking
so
about. Yeah.
he got Frosty Paws.
Nice.
Yeah, so
It's a good
It
day
was
to be a
just-
dog.
yeah, everything that day,
Every day
it was like,
All right. That's,
yeah. Well, and it was really sweet. She was so like concerned that he had a good day,
Aw.
Oh, we can't be gone for too long because it's Opie's special day, and he'd be sad if he was left home. And
yeah. Because his life is so rough.
Mm-hmm.
he lives a super rough life in his plush dog beds and house
Mhm.
that's heated to the perfect temperature for him during the day. It's a tough life.
Yeah, you get like continual free massages. You
Pretty
know,
much.
fed, and people pick up after your feces. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
that's a
Anytime he
tough
acts
life.
spoiled, Josh looks at me and says, "You did this. You made him like this."
You made it like this. Yeah.
So we did that, and then went to a park. Temecula's opening up a bunch of new parks, and they're spending a lot of money. I mean, this park that we just went to was $390,000 renovation,
Wow.
but it is super cool. They have like a swing, but it's a zip line swing, and it goes around the whole park.
Well, what?
Yes, you
I
wait
want-
in line, and then you like run down this little ramp, and it's like zip lines through the
A
park.
zip line swing.
Yes, you can stand on the swing, or you can sit on the swing, and you can sit with 2 people on the swing.
Man, kids
I'm going up.
these days, man.
You should take Enzo up there one time. It's actually a really, really cool park.
Yeah.
It's big. I mean, they have a lot of stuff there. And
Mhm.
so we did that, and just hung out, went with some friends. So it's pretty low key but busy weekend. I thought we just weren't home, which is
Yeah.
just on the go.
Yeah.
But
Did we do
yeah,
low
so that was
five
my
there?
birthday party experience this weekend.
Yeah.
Was for a 2-year-old.
For a dog, yeah. So that was totally not, I did not expect you to say. I thought you meant something else, but okay. That is unique in its own way.
That's the life of having a 6-year-old.
I'm always forgetting to put phones on airplane mode and stuff. Okay. There you go. It's done. That is done. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to go back to me.
There goes. There's the eye roll. Had it happen at one point today.
Yeah. Couldn't even go. How long are we in here? It's not even 20 minutes. You got it? All right.
Let's do this.
Oh, by the way, I'm using a new mug. So I've been rocking. Yeah, I've been rocking the Zelda Link mug for a long time, which my sister gave me, which is awesome. I love that one. It changes pictures as it from heat, and I love it. So it's a great gift from Christina. So thank you, Christina, for that. I switched it because I found this in the drawer, and I bought this when I was like in high school, freshman year. It's Yosemite National Park, half dome in the picture. And the reason why I bought it, I look at it now, I'm like, this thing isn't not that cool at all. But the reason why I bought it back in the day was I picked it up and I saw that it said made in Japan. And I was like, whoa, like it's not made in China? That means this thing is phenomenal. Like in my mind, like anything Japanese was like next level. I'm like, this has got to be the best mug ever. So I bought it. But that's it.
Cool.
I didn't even like it that much, but just because it's made in Japan.
I wonder when China is going to become the cachet of made in China is like premium quality and over the top.
Yeah, because it's definitely getting there, right? You see all the
Japan was, when Japan was first started to manufacture after World War II, it was the cheap stuff comes from Japan,
Mhm.
and that was kind of like the people in the U.S. used to view Japanese manufacturing like we view Chinese manufacturing now.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it's like they kept evolving, making better, and getting to the premium level. Now it's if it's made in Japan, it's meticulously designed, has all this craftsmanship, and built well, and so China does have that range of
absolutely
like very, very poor quality all the way up to super high quality iPhones. Like some of the best stuff that we can make as humans come out of China.
Yeah, that's where the iPhone is made. So.
Yeah, so
and iPhone clones. So we're Kyndra and I were talking about that. We were watching this YouTube channel, and they had I think you and I were watching a little bit of it. So they have clones of iPhone 10s that are almost indistinguishable. They're getting so good. So for $170,
$165.
yeah,
$165.
yeah, you get an iPhone 10, and in some ways, better than the iPhone 10.
It's better.
Yeah. So if you and I were to pick it up, I mean, well, we would be probably to tell because we live, breathe mobile accessories and phones all the time. But to the layman person, you just look at it and be like, yep, that's an iPhone 10. That's how
So why does
good.
everyone just do that?
Well, you don't
know.
get the software side of the clones. It's an Android system. So I mean, there's definitely going to be some trade-offs. There won't be the integration to the Apple ecosystem. So you don't have, like if you have AirPods or other Apple products, it's not going to play well together.
Yeah, the App Store is going to be different.
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he speaking Chinese or English?
I know, for the most part, it's like it's the same, if not better in some. So the video the person did like face unlock. The phone mimicked the whole face unlock process. Obviously not with the same kind of camera technology, but then the clone, the fake one, they just looked at it and it just boom opened up. He's like, oh my god, did that just work? No swiping afterwards, just like just turned on.
It's better to have a lock code because like someone could just knock you out and then just hold it in front of your face.
Yeah, there's all kinds of.
Put your thumb. If there's a passcode, it's like
Mm-hmm.
get into it.
That's true.
It's really morbid, but like.
Right? They could always chop off your finger, and they like, "Ew, what are you?
What do you have on your
Kelsey
phone?
has a tough life. Damn. So anyway, yeah, I'm buying one. I'm definitely buying one. So we bought an iPhone 10, I bought an iPhone 10 over the weekend for some extra testing for Utomic. So we're always continually testing devices, and we're thinking about adding in back glass to phones. That's been a request a lot by our customers. Can you guys please protect the back of my precious $1,000 phone that's made out of glass on the back? So we should be offering back glass, but we want to go through the proper testing process. So we're buying a bunch of iPhone 10s and testing it. So it'll be fun. So as always, check out utomic.com for your best mobile accessories. Can you put like a little anyway. Oh yeah, so I wanted to talk about birthday party. So whatever, we went to a birthday party, Enzo's friends, not a dog party, but whatever, like kids are playing. But the interesting part was several of the family members, if not all, like a lot of them were on either a keto diet or a carnivore diet. And keto diet, which we've talked about on the show before. It's kind of like a carnivore diet, but it's a little bit more lean.
No to zero carbs. So your body is producing.
So what's the difference between carnivore and that?
So keto diet is 0 or no carbs. Carnivore is 100% meat.
Is there carbs in that?
In meat?
Yeah.
No. But there's other things like some vegetables that do not have carbs or not have many carbs in them. And so you can...
So keto, think of it as like carnivore light.
Neither of them you can have carbs. You can't have carbs in the carnivore diet.
On the carnivore diet, no. But on the keto diet, you're allowed things like berries, you're allowed things like nuts.
Okay, there we go.
And you're allowed like vegetables, certain vegetables as well too. So, which can have carbs in them, but to a lower degree. So.
Yeah, not like a bunch of bread.
Yeah, exactly. So keto is a little bit easier, depending on the person, but there are degrees of like kind of the same, trying to get people into ketosis and burning fat instead of burning sugar and that kind of stuff. So very similar in diets.
That's probably one of the most, I don't know, because there's always debate on what diet is good, what can be sustainable. It seems like the only thing that can be agreed on, but no one really talks about, is low sugar is good for you. And that's the one thing that magically our industry kind of stays away from. They kind of like debate all this kind of stuff, and it's just like, oh, shocker, because everything inside the grocery store except for the outside aisle of like meats and frozen fried is all just sugar. Corn syrup and sugar.
Yeah, or the 30 derivatives of
and there's
of
some,
sugar or
right.
sweetener.
Yeah, it doesn't say sugar, it'll say dextrose or brown rice syrup, one of the 50 names that we give to sugar to try and hide it as much as possible.
Yeah, all that stuff. Like Alex ruined one of my seasoning things that I bought last week.
No, it highlights how difficult it is to go on low sugar and not find it. Because
I used something and I was like,
it starts to taste like sugar.
So the great thing is when you're on a carnivore diet, you're very sensitive to anything sweet. Like your taste buds adjust. So Alex tried one of the seasoning things that I bought. It's like definitely sweet. And then sure enough, you look at the ingredients.
Like dextrose in the back. But but you were trying to find. So
trying to find zero
little herbs and spices to flavor meat a little bit. It was like, okay, like try and find ones without sugar in it. And like, so you got all of them, but then like one of them happened to have like dextrose on there, which doesn't really come out as sugar or recognizable as really easy. So it's like,
it still says sugar 0 grams. So you're like, oh this is totally gotcha.
Once
and that's
you
the
get
other.
Off the diet though, it's like your stomach can't handle anything. I remember that I got like a Starbucks once I finished my diet and like it didn't sit well at all.
You can become sensitive, for sure.
But I think that just highlights more of how the sugar and the cream and milk that's in a typical Starbucks is not good for you. If you have it every day, your body will build up a tolerance to it, so it doesn't feel as bad. But if you stay away from it for a while and then come back to it, you just realize how bad that drink is for you. So it's not like you get worse. It's just that your body isn't working so hard to make it acceptable.
Okay.
And that's why we can. And that's kind of the, I think, misnomer of some of these diets is that you can be on a diet and, it kind of works for us, but you don't really feel the everyday effects in kind of your diet. It might come out as, well, I can't really sleep as well, or I feel tired, but we don't necessarily correlate that to our diet unless you go on like a carnivore diet and then realize what your body can do and come back to it. So it's...
So I talked to some of these people, had good conversations, wide range of different personalities and different people. Spoke to some of the notables where I spoke to the grandma, and I was complimenting her because she was running around with all these kids. They're like, they're being little kids. They're just running around being obnoxious, and she was keeping them in line, like coordinating the different games that they were playing. I was like, wow, you're doing a great job keeping up with all these people. And she goes, I wouldn't have been able to do this a year ago. Okay, now you got my interest. What's going on? And she goes, I'm on this like crazy diet that whatever, but it saved my life. And I go, what is it? It's the carnivore diet now, but it was a keto diet I did for a year. I go, oh my God, you're speaking my language. Let's talk. So we talked, and she had diabetes, and she said she could barely walk. It's gotten that bad. And someone gave her that recommendation to go on a keto diet on top of all the things that she was trying.
Sounds like a manageable diet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very doable compared to like a lot of them out there.
Yeah. And so she did it for a year, and now she's 100 and whatever, 100% better. She's just running around full of energy. She just was great. And she goes, she attributed it all to just changing the way she ate. Now she said she just switched over to keto, carnivore, full carnivore, last couple of days, just to see the difference. The keto worked for her for a good year.
Yep.
So it saved her life.
People cut out meat, so what's like, I'm saying everyone's vegan, vegetarian. Like,
Yeah.
What is the benefit of doing the opposite? You know what I'm saying? Like rather than cutting out meat, doing like full meat. Like what's what I'm saying? Like,
The whole what's the benefit? Yeah.
Yeah,
Google
why-
carnivore diet.
Why choose to do that
Oh my God.
instead of doing vegan or vegetarian? Like why do you guys pick carnivore?
Well, because
Yeah.
vegan vegetarian is not healthy.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Alex
I
ruined
mean,
it.
We can
We're
spend.
going to get some hate. Yeah, it's.
Alex ruins vegan and vegetarian.
I mean, the thing is, it's I mean, it's cutting out
Uh-oh.
sugar is
Uh-oh.
healthy for you. That's good. But there's not enough nutrition that comes from plants for humans. You need
protein.
exactly. Yeah, that's a really good.
Just anything.
Mhm.
Your body isn't
There's a
designed
lot,
to
you know.
process the fibers in it. And,
We don't have a way to break down cellulose, is what it comes down to. We don't have the exact term. We
which
don't
is
have
what plants are
multiple
made of.
stomachs. We don't have the ability
Yeah,
to
fermentation.
extract nutrition from
Because all the women
cellulose.
I know, they're like, yeah, I'm like, they want all these fat diets, like the gluten-free and then like
Mhm.
vegetarian. I feel like they're all doing it because everyone else is doing it. I don't
Mhm,
feel
some of
like
that.
they're
There's
really
some of that
fully
happens.
aware of like why they're cutting it out. You know,
Yeah.
and people in California, they're all about fat diets. So I don't know. I could never cut out meat. So
Don't have to.
yeah,
You don't have to.
never.
So, and it's a hard thing to because there will be people that are seemingly or are actually indeed healthy, but are vegans, are vegetarians, and that works for them, and that's fine. But if you're talking in more kind of general speak and looking at the science behind it, there's a stronger argument to be made just by looking at the history of mankind and basic biology that all meat diet is a better option for us. But this could be like both sides are super passionate. You can you can go online and just watch endlessly the debate and it's fun. It's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
People
And then
get
a day,
heated
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and
At the end of the
stuff.
day, if it works for you, if you feel healthy, by all means. Like, who am I to like make you eat a bunch of like cow and vegetables seem to work for you? So, if this wasn't working for us, I'd switch immediately over to all vegetables if I was feeling.
Yeah.
If I was making me feel horrible.
Mhm.
Hell, you were pretty much doing that for the longest time. You were eating like
Yeah.
tons of salad. We make fun of you.
That's
You
what I
just
would
big,
It's all I saw you eating was
Yeah,
salad
I would eat
before.
like
tons and tons
this,
of salad.
like a whole
Like a
trough.
trough.
Yeah.
of just
It's just
salad.
like, you need to try and get nutrition. You get such little nutrition from it, and so it's just tons of fiber just going through your system like crazy.
Yeah.
Your body couldn't get rid of it.
Oh, look,
fast
this is what he's doing now. I've been staring at this because you freaking put it here, but
enough.
he's just
meat.
just
a big meat.
time.
Hot steak.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you put this somewhere else? You're making me
Yep.
hungry, man. Jeez, dude, I haven't had my lunch yet. Although I only had 2 eggs and it's 1:30 right now, and I'm all right.
Yeah, that's the other thing as far as the keto diet or carnivore diet, that the hunger, you can go longer without needing food.
Yeah.
It seems like I don't get the same hunger pains of constantly needing to eat a salad every 2 or 3 hours to try and get something out of it.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's
This
kind
is-
of that's kind of one example you find, like gorillas or that side of species of animals. They are vegetarians, but they spend something like 75 to 80% of their day eating because they're
Grazing.
massive animals, and because they need to be able to extract those nutrients. You gotta just constantly be eating.
yeah, the grazers,
Eat,
right?
eat,
These
eat.
animals graze and
Yeah.
eat constantly, right? Versus you just get one. You're a lion and you go out there and you hunt. You take
Yeah.
down a gazelle and you're good.
Yep.
So, do you want to be a deer or a
Yeah,
lion?
I mean, it's kind of, and that is kind of the. There's multiple ways to have a healthy diet for yourself and maintain your body, but then it's kind of a question of, well, what do you want to do with your body?
Mhm.
Right? If
That's a good
I
point.
want
I
to
know you're
be
going.
very athletic, I want to get. I mean, I have been getting back into soccer and mountain biking. And now that I'm older, it's kind of like, okay, well, how can I change my diet? And that was part of the reason why I went on the carnivore diet. I mean, I didn't have goals of trying to lose weight or get rid of ailments like diabetes. I did have kind of the lethargy in the afternoon and drinking a lot of coffee that I wanted to try and get away from. And then the other part was the athleticism. So I wanted to kind of be able to work out and sustain that energy, play soccer at a higher level. And so that's why I find that, a diet can also be not just a way to be healthy, but how do you start tuning your body for the output that you want it to be. And so I like the ability that I don't have to spend as much time eating, because got a lot of work to do with the companies, got a little free time. I'd rather be going outside and mountain biking versus sitting around eating all day. So
Yeah.
it's some of those reasons. Choose your diet based on what you want to do for your body.
This segment brought to you by meat.
That'd be awesome.
We're
We had a
sponsored
meat
by.
sponsor.
Yeah, we should, right? Dang, man. All right. Anyone in the beef industry that would like to sponsor the show, we obviously are very passionate about it.
Speaking of being passionate about it, what do you have to show us?
Oh, yeah. So good segue into. So we've been talking a lot about the carnivore diet. So Alex, as we mentioned a couple of shows ago, was awesome enough to design a shirt for all of us. So, it captures the essence of, at least for the last couple of shows, the essence of live fully. So here it is. So I'm wearing it now.
Yes.
Right. Should I go slow and easy? No, just make it fast. It's like a Band-Aid. Come on, should do the review. All right, so here it is.
Yes.
I should take off the whole thing. Give you a little skin.
Ow!
Yeah. I was supposed to do the whole, like, whatever. No? So, here it is. So, and what does it mean? Meat is food. Plants are medicine, specifically for us. Beef, kratom. Boom.
Is there a back to it?
And it makes us
I was gonna say, is there an inside?
happy.
Is it reversible?
Although I hate showing, like,
Does it say like
it's
live
too
fully
close
on
to
the
the...
back? Does it say like live
Now you
fully
just
on
made
the
it
back or
awkward.
something?
Yeah, you
Perfect.
just drew the attention to it.
I know.
Right? I'm just like, No. All right. This has gotten
Should we
awkward.
refilm this whole thing?
Should we do the whole clip over again? No, I love it. I love this thing. So there you go.
So people and other people love it. Where can they find it?
Yeah, so we're working on that. So we're gonna start having swag. So depending on what the swag is, we'll put it on our different company websites. So I think this one pertains a lot to our Etha company. So we'll have a swag shop at ethalivefully.com. We'll have this shirt on there. So if you guys want to support the show and rock, this amazing shirt by that guy, purchase. So we'll come up with some atomic
good
stuff
stuff.
too later too, some Bacala stuff. So we'll keep on rocking these things.
Swag is awesome.
Yeah.
Should we put a baby top for Victor's?
I know it should have like a pie or something.
Some pie over there.
Right.
Some like,
Tub of ice cream.
The cow licking an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
A balance.
that would be awesome.
Ooh. All right. Point
that-
2.
That's okay. I was gonna say, is that kind of like, I don't know, cannibalistic if a cow's eating an ice cream cone? But I guess not really. It's kind of like
Yeah. No. It's
milk.
just,
Like,
milk.
Oh,
What was it? What was it? You watched not Silicon Valley. What's your show you watch? The new one. Not new to the show, but new to you. The comedy you're watching.
Silicon Valley.
Is this okay? Silicon Valley. For that, I'm a pescatarian.
Oh yeah, a pescatarian.
What's that?
Someone that only eats fish that eat other fish.
So they're vegetarian, but they just like fish.
I love that. I'm a pescatarian.
I always get that confused with Presbyterian.
Yeah.
Religion.
Yeah.
A pescatarian.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only eat fish that eat other fish.
I can do that. That's doable.
That show is so silly. So, all right. But anyway, that all that stuff kind of reminded me about, obviously our diet, but then also the importance of plants like kratom and in helping us in our overall health. So, I think a lot of times we look at, like you're saying, diet is a way to, help with like a very specific thing. I have diabetes. I need to do this, or I'm, really overweight. I need to lose weight, and so I go on this diet. And, I am sick. I have chronic pain, and I need to take this medicine.
Yeah, a
this
lot
plant.
of times we are reactionary
Mhm.
with our health. And
Yeah.
that's kind of and when you're reactionary with health, it's much more difficult to make changes and then go through the improvement. You're putting your body in a lot of stress and then kind of coming back down out of it.
Yeah.
And you're kind of in and that seems to be that vicious cycle a lot of people get into. Lots of stress in their body, then it's like, oh, I don't feel good, I'm not sleeping, all this stuff, and they start changing, getting better, and then kind of loop back into that over and over versus how do we get more into the kind of maintenance mode and kind of going back into it's okay, how do we I don't know, it's like a lot of the term coming out now is biohacking. So how do you know how our body and systems work? How do you use that to your advantage to make it optimal to perform for your life goals that you want? And so instead of being in the reaction mode, how do you start doing that in preventative maintenance that lets you just live fully, I guess.
I heard, so I'm going to quote this. I was watching or listening to a podcast, as we're now podcasters ourselves, to Star Talk, a great one. Tyson DeGrasse, he does a podcast, and they had a voice coach on there, and his focus was less on rehabilitating people's voices, but habilitating or habilitating. There's a term for what we're talking about here too. So, and it's a lot harder, to your point, a lot harder to rehabilitate someone's voice once they've lost it, damaged it, versus just taking care of it on a regular basis. And so these are for, obviously, performers like Kelly Clarkson is the reference that they were talking about. So.
That makes sense, yeah.
So anyway, good. So that's the rehabilitation versus this word that I can't remember. Habilitation?
Habilitation, that like adding ability. That sounds like a good word to make up.
Yeah, I like it. So, yeah. He was a vocalogist too, and they were giving him a lot of crap for it, this guy. So they're like, can you just add ocologist or whatever it is to any word?
Study of, like some root word. Yeah, there's that jokes that go around.
Yeah. So anyway, so what do you mean by biohacking? So any examples that we can reference for biohacking?
We've talked a little bit about it, I think, as far as like taking cordyceps to increase blood flow or oxygenation inside your body for performing for athletics. I would say carnivore diet for us is kind of biohacking to perform with less sleep, so I get more out of my day. I don't have to take a nap during the day like I used to, and that kind of level. And then it's kind of I start to take kratom before I necessarily need it is kind of another way that I do preventative. So when I go out mountain biking, because kratom does have anti-inflammatory, immune boosting, as well as kind of increasing blood flow, vasodilator, I take that before I go out mountain biking, and that way it helps me keep my body kind of performing, doing what I want to. And then if I crash, have an injury, then it also helps with the inflammation in case something happens.
Very good point,
it's just more about how do you routinely start understanding your body and taking, changing your diet or supplements or kratom to stay at a certain level of performance.
Yeah, an optimal level, right? Optimizing your body, you're biohacking your body. Yeah, when we were talking about this idea of biohacking, I was asking myself, if I did not have chronic pain anymore, would I still be taking kratom on a regular basis? I don't have a need to rehabilitate or fix a problem or manage a problem anymore. Would I still take it? And I immediately, why not? Why wouldn't I? Because it is contributing to my overall health. I'm a better person, from just having a daily regimen of kratom. So I don't need to have. So I think of it more like your daily vitamin instead of like, that was the reason why we got introduced to kratom, was to help us with our ailments. But now it's just more like, let's just take it just because it's better for you, And I love that we are focusing so much energy on research to see what those other alkaloids within kratom are doing. And
and so that's why we focus on the whole plant botanical. So we don't just take the leaf, we do the leaf, the stem, and the vein as part of it. And so what also kind of reinforces the total alkaloid profile inside the plant is that if we do research on kratom, which is Metragina speciosa is the scientific name, there are other plants that are similar to kratom but grow in different parts of the world. So there is a plant that grows in India, Sri Lanka, that's called Metragina perivifolia, and it.
That one, yeah.
What's that?
You can look at that one, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's actually headed to India.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll talk more about that. Yeah.
So basically, that plant has been used in Hindi sacred texts for very similar reasons. They have high pain relief properties. It's a mood booster, anti-inflammatory. They also use it as a topical for like cuts and scrapes, so antibacterial, that side of it. But what's also interesting is that the Indian culture specifically calls out using bark from the tree or the root to go after something like jaundice, which is a liver ailment. And so looking at the research we've gone through with kratom, at some of the, kind of when we talked about the toxicity levels, there were, if you remember, there was kind of some low toxicity that showed some of the issues that come up with the liver. But then there were other tests that showed extracts of kratom at much, much higher concentrations, and there were no issues seen. And so even though we kind of default to that, worst case scenario, still safe, okay, good. But what could be causing, another massive, larger amount and still not seeing an issue? Mm-hmm. Well, if we look at some of those studies that show some liver cell damage that is reversible from kratom, but then if we look at the plant in India, and they actually use part of the plant to help cure a liver disease, well, then there's probably alkaloids in some of the extracts that are counteracting some of that potential negative effect.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And so that is what this kind of a spur of new insight, new kind of potential for medicine, and how someone in a different culture may use it. I will be traveling to India coming up here in 2 days. 2 days in India to look at and find
leaving me all of this.
I hope we'll get some footage of you in India that we can use on our next.
Show. Seeing what I can find out there will be overwhelming and hopefully enlightening.
Yeah, because going back to your point, it's not a surprise. I don't know all the scientific detail that what you're describing or just described, but in the simple idea of if I take something, the whole of whatever it is, and use it, it's better than me taking just parts of it. When I take parts of it, I then am subject to potentially not getting like the right balance, right? Because this is all in balance right now. So I take a piece of it out. This is no longer in balance, good or bad. It's no longer in balance, and so
it's that synergistic effect that a lot of biologics, botanicals have. That's not just a simple, it's just one little molecule, take that and you're fine. Well, no, it's that, causes, or this one alkaloid helps the pain side, but then this other alkaloid helps with the inflammation. So together they work together. And then there's another alkaloid that helps kind of clean those out of the system so that you don't have the risks that are associated, such as pharmaceuticals, because that's part of the issue.
Yeah. And we've already, on our lab side, we've already seen some evidence of that kind of supports this hypothesis that we have, right? Where we've tested certain kratom strains, and we found that they have just really high mitragynine count, but do not have some of the other alkaloids that we are currently able to measure. And we also know that they do not include stem and vein within that kratom.
Yeah. So, and specifically, it's the I think from my personal testing, I would say that kratom high in mitragynine gives me more of that energy kind of uplift, but then starts to get into kind of like the head loopiness feeling, and I don't get as much pain relief. And so kratom that has a lot of 7-hydroxymitragynine gives me much more pain relief without that head loopiness that I'm trying to stay away from. And that correlates to the research that mitragynine is something on the order of 1/7 as effective as a pain medication compared to a morphine-derived counterpart, where 7-hydroxymitragynine is anywhere from 7 to 12 times more effective. And so yeah, so a tiny difference, even though
Mm-hmm.
that 7-hydroxy is in kind of trace amounts or very low amounts, can make orders of magnitude difference. And that's what we select for and try to look when I purchase my kratom.
Yeah. So that's the direction we're definitely heading. It not only is it something that you can take to rehabilitate, but it's also something you can take regularly to habilitate. So that's the abilitate.
I like it.
So the more you know. Okay. All right. Anything else we want to talk about, guys?
I have a fun fact.
Fun facts.
Fun fact.
Make it fast, man. I'm hungry. I'm gonna grab
All
that
right,
steak right
so,
now.
Fun facts, health-wise.
Alex ruined something.
So,
He promises he's not going to ruin something right now. We will see.
This is just constantly being hated on over here. So fun fact question is, does anyone know what the largest organ of the human body is?
Your skin.
Everyone's consensus?
yeah. Right? Sure.
Now I see he's already made us.
Is that correct?
The skin is the largest organ of the human body.
All right. Is that it? Okay, done. Let's get out of here. Is that your fun fact?
So it's...
Were we supposed to say something else?
No. I don't know. I'm just going to go into... We'll have to reshoot this a little bit.
Okay. All right, we'll have to edit that part out.
I can just go to the NPR side of it.
Ab, you're cutting this out.
Seriously cutting this out.
Alright, how do I want to set this up?
I can't help you. I don't know what you're trying to talk about. I'm just as curious as everyone else is.
Trying to look up that word movie.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to think of how you can search it.
Yeah. Should be in the description. Victor was trying to think of this word. You can go Star Talk, Kelly Clarkson episode, and they'll have a vocalogist there, and invite you along the description about what he does. It's probably on there.
Habilitation is a real word.
What is it?
Habilitation is
Habilitation?
a word, but I don't know if that's the correct one.
No, it's probably it. Yeah. Habilitation. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why I added an H for.
What is it? Habilitation.
All right, you want to go for this again?
Sure, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock.
All right, so over the weekend, I did hear a story on NPR, and they do a segment where they have callers send them in a health care bill, and it's just kind of like a very generic, send us something that is interesting, and we'll dig into it, and if it's informative to people, we'll put it on air. And so the last episode or last version I heard of this, an elderly woman went in for her biannual study of looking for skin cancer. And during that time, they noticed that she had a toenail fungus. She hadn't complained about it or kind of known anything. It's actually fairly common. I think when older people get kind of more yellow toenail, that's indicative of a fungus but it's really kind of one of those things that your body is this microbiome of all sorts of stuff, and for the most part, you don't notice it.
Yeah.
And so the physician's assistant was, hey, we noticed this. Do you want to treat it? Sure. Okay, I guess. Like, recommending it, that's fine. Like, she has Medicare A and B, plus she has supplemental health insurance for prescriptions. Kind of all the stuff like covered, like what most people would be covered pretty well. And so all of a sudden, though, she gets notices that her health spending account that gets something like $1,500 a month is completely drained. It's like, how did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that the toenail fungus medication is $1,496 per month to treat, and it requires 11 months of treatment.
That exact perfect amount.
For a
Right.
toenail fungus?
For a toenail fungus. Now, not only that, there are multiple medications, multiple ways to treat a toenail fungus.
Yeah.
This is by no means the only one available.
Of course.
Now, let's put on top of that, if you look at the drug company that submitted this product for FDA approval, the success rate of the drug when they had it granted in 2014 to completely cure toenail fungus, the success rate ranged from 6.5% to 9.5%.
Are you kidding me,
after
man?
a 12-month treatment.
What?
That's how effective this drug is.
How
Less
did they
than
even get past
10%.
the drug?
Whoa, and that's the biggest issue with our drug system.
You got here the
is
money
that-
involved?
Yes.
Right.
And so the issue is that drugs to claim efficacy is chosen against a placebo. So is this drug more effective than nothing? Well, 6% of the time, maybe, a little bit sometimes. And so that's why that's one reason why some of our drug costs are just out of control. Because it's
ridiculous.
You can get something approved as an FDA drug that is mildly effective, if any, and then it goes through our system that someone else, Medicare insurance, is going to start reimbursing for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that her kind of Beneflex or health spending account was set up, it just kind of went automatic approval and got sent through.
Yeah.
How does a drug with that low of a percentage rate of success even reach a doctor's office to the point where a doctor would actually prescribe something like that to a patient?
Because
have you seen a pharma girl before?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm just joking.
I mean, it's because doctors don't research efficacy of the drugs for the most part. They just see a list of, I type in, click these boxes. Well, in this case, it was physician's assistant. So a lot of these things are passed down towards less certifications, and it's like you have this condition, click, 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 and the system automatically spits out, well, here's this drug that's been FDA approved for it. It doesn't tell you been approved at a 6% success rate.
Right.
And then
Or
it goes back,
it,
and then it goes back to the same thing too, that for the most part, us as patients, we don't get that choice of, do you want to do this? Here's the cost. It's, do you want to do this? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3-4 months later, it's, oh yeah, that thing costs this amount of money. Like, what?
Yeah. It is so ass backwards, the whole entire system. You know, I mean, I think most doctors are well intended, but I can only imagine the avalanche of like information and options on the pharmaceutical side that you don't have the time. You barely have 15 minutes with every patient to get through, and now you also need to spend, how many hours researching each and every option that keeps thrown at you constantly. So there's a system that makes it easy for you. You just go with it, right?
Yeah.
And you just hope that the FDA process is, doing what it's supposed to do and providing you with medication options that really do help. And unfortunately, there are these kind of examples that exist, and that's just. I mean, obviously, we're hypersensitive to it because, there are other things that we know from research and from our own use that truly do have, like a 99% chance of
what's
it.
unfortunate too, so yes, so kratom is not approved by the FDA.
Mm-hmm.
It's not been recognized as a drug for therapeutic use, any of that. However, from some of the online surveys of kratom users, when you look at those self-reported surveys, people report upwards of 95-96% effectiveness for pain relief, for depression, for inflammation. So yeah, something that's greater than 95% effective, but it's not FDA approved, been used for thousands of years. So kind of going back to that, what are clinical studies actually doing and proving? Well, it's a very small amount of data, and the bar to get approved, it's a ton of money, but it doesn't necessarily require it to be in the best interest of patients and it's unfortunate that we have to go down to the studying a clinical trial to see if the drug is actually usable.
You should be able to just trust.
Mm-hmm.
It says FDA approved. I know this is the best option, and
yeah.
it works. You know, at least give me a majority.
Unfortunately, yeah. Not even flip a coin. Nope.
Yeah.
Less than 10%.
We're not talking about one-time use. The thing that really bothers me is
it's an 11-month
11 months. Did I do anything 11 months? I better see like
$17,000 for 6% chance of curing the toenail fungus.
And it's a toenail fungus.
She wasn't even complaining about the pain. Didn't even notice it. And so that's the other part. Is kind of one of these things. No.
It's benign. Does it go away by itself?
For the most part, there's a lot of people that have toenail fungus that you just never know about because it generally just manifests as kind of a yellowish kind of toenail, and it's very, very common.
There it is. Well,
I thought my steroid cream for my arm was expensive.
Yeah.
That was to me a little tube of steroid cream to take away the allergic reaction I had to a Band-Aid. I mean, without insurance, it would have cost me over $200.
Yeah.
I almost want us to just run an experiment with whatever. There's a natural alternative to removing fungus and see if we can beat 6%. That bar is so low.
Oh yeah, you probably did.
Yes, because run our own trial.
One of the other treatments. So typically, what happens? So a fungus can get, if you have like an ingrown toenail, then that can get infected with the fungus and that side of it. And so so one of the treatments is just to cut off the toenail that's growing into it and let it be, and it will get rid of itself. So that's like one of the potentials. It's like it's just
get rid of it and stop. Throw some alcohol or something.
Yes. So that is the unfortunate part of why you, myself, us, we have to treat ourselves. You have to do a lot of research. You can't just go to one doctor and say, "Oh, yep, fine, that's going to work." You got to know what you're talking about. Figure out how you feel, know your body.
And so I know we knock social media and a lot of times on this show, but one of the benefits is just being able to connect with people that you normally wouldn't be able to connect to. And I have to say I've learned a lot about kratom, about carnivore diet, about these things through social media by joining Facebook groups, reading some Reddit subreddit groups as well too, and just connecting with people and getting some information, at least guiding me in the right direction. And then I'd go and do research because it can be very overwhelming. It's like, where do I even begin? So you throw a question out there to users or whatever kratom consumers and say, I'm thinking about this. This is what I have. What direction advice can you give me? And that was a great place to start. So don't just rely on one source. There are many sources of information now. So and it's your health. Yeah, it's your health. Take it seriously. Like don't just let it then all of a sudden
no one is going to care about your health more than you. Yep,
that is true.
So make sure that.
So all right, so he didn't ruin something specifically, I guess. But I definitely feel more depressed now.
It is very sad that that's the reality. Nobody made up that situation.
Yeah, that's just shocking. Like really?
Yeah. I know. But the silver lining is there are other options out there. Just spend a little time, find them. If you need help, ask. There are people out there that are very much there to help you.
Second opinion. I mean, second opinion is a good way to start. If you ever have anything and it feels kind of strange or like, I don't know, is that the right diagnosis? Always get second opinion at the very least.
And ask your doctor lots of questions too. I get frustrated with that too. People don't ask enough questions. They just go like, "You tell me something, okay, got it," and you just walk out.
Yeah,
just sit there. You paid for that time. Maximize it. Keep on. Make them kick you out before you got to feel good about it.
The simplest questions is easy to ask is a doctor, because a lot of times a doctor will look at some symptoms and say, well, it's probably this. Okay, this is what it is. So what you can ask is there anything else that it could be? And at least it'll get the doctor thinking, and then that may spur some questions back to the patient.
Yeah.
Same thing with the treatment. You can also say, okay, that's one treatment, this pill that you're maybe giving me or this regimen. Is there anything else that I could treat it with? Yeah. And so that is another
What are my options?
Yep.
Let's talk through some of the other options. Put them to
Be
work.
Be active in it. Ask questions, get options, get second opinions, do research about
There you
all
go.
this.
All right. I feel better. I feel more empowered now. All right. Now we can end the show. All right, guys. Thanks for listening or watching, depending on how you're watching the show or listening to the show. As always, support it if you want to see this thing continue. Check out ethalivefully.com for all your botanical needs. Also check out utomic.com for the best mobile accessories. And if you need any consulting, Alex and I or someone on our team is always available for a small nominal fee at pacalaconsulting.com. And as always,
Live fully.